Hello, in this video I'm going to highlight one of the new features that have been added to SMARTree version 2.5, which is the integration of live math operations. So what we've done is we've added the ability for SMARTree to basically do some math to your data inline within the tree and basically update the numbers, the calculations as you're working. So let me show you how that works. And the best way for me to show you is to pull in one of the tutorials that I have. So you can download, as I mentioned in other videos, you can download all of these SMARTrees that I have available from the GitLab site. There's links at the bottom of this video on how to do that. And so when you do that, you'll see some tutorials in there. So we'll just go into the search tab here and type in tutorials. And you can see here under tutorial smart tags, actually, you'll see quite a few tutorials. And we can pull in some of these mathematical ones. So I'll just bring in this first one right here. So, um, so on the right, we have a SMARTree that has basically two math operations being conducted. And those two math operations are being done to a tabular set of data. So if you click on the table itself, here is some measurement data. It might be the width and thickness of, say, a sample. And so what I'd like to do with that data is I'd like to calculate the average of each of these columns and then calculate the area of the sample with that average. So the way you do it is you can create another table under the primary table, and what you'll see here is you'll see this is already purple. And the reason why it's purple is I've added this term average in brackets. So if I take out that term, right, you'll see now it's just a basic static data. But by adding these terms, for example, average, what it'll do is it'll calculate the average of its parent data. So the parent data it recognizes as a table. The object you are doing the math on is also a table. So when you do maths from one table to the other, it will apply the maths to the columns of that data. So here we have this data right here, and below we have the average thickness. So it's calculating the average of that first column. We can go one step further and then add another element, and in this case the element will be a value, because what we'd like to do now is calculate the area in this case of a sample by just multiplying those two values. So all you have to do is create another element below that element, and in brackets put in this term multiply, and what it will do is then multiply that data. So it's a very simple embedded math, and the only requirements of the user is you just have to add these operators to the titles. So if you take these operators out, it just becomes static data, but by putting them in there, it now becomes an operation essentially, and it will look through your entire tree, identify where there is data, and do the math on that data. So if you want to just see the update here to your area, you can actually go in here and you can add new data. Maybe I'll just add 0.2 and 2, for instance. So what I've done here is I've added some new data, and you'll see now it calculated the averages for that new data, and it calculated the multiplication of that data. So this is a very simple way to do math. The website, the help website, shows you all the operators you can use. We don't have too many in there right now, but we are planning on adding a lot more. We have the basic math operations in there right now. For the average user, that's fine. But we do plan on adding even more statistical operators in there as well, so you can really interrogate your data as you enter the data. So that's basically a new feature in version 2.5, which is essentially embedded math. Thank you.